a very good afternoon as you join us live in Garden City, New York, Adelphi University, the site for a non-conference matchup today between the AU Panthers and the Virginia Union Lady Panthers. I'm joined by Tom Verdi. I'm Brian Rascona. We'll be giving you all the action today. A 1:30 tip-off this afternoon right here on Flo College. Now, Tom, you're familiar with the team. These are two teams that haven't seen each other, right, because it's a non-conference game. What are some of the keys to today's game for Sade Jackson to try to defeat a Virginia Union team? Sade Jackson's team's not a middle presence. They don't have much of one. They thrive on defense. So, again, what are the keys to today?
Yeah, I mean, stopping Tania Green, that's certainly going to be a big key. She's a dominant post presence for this Virginia Union team. But to be honest, these two teams are built very similar. Both top 25 in the nation in turnover margin. They're both really good defensively, can turn teams over. So I think, it's going to come down to which offense can have a little bit more success. One thing especially that I think is going to be key, Adelphi, they thrive on the three-point shot a lot, and this Virginia Union team, 11th best three-point defense in the nation. So if they can limit Adelphi on the three-point shot, Panthers are going to have to find other ways to get it done. That could make it tough for them today.
I'm glad you mentioned that because last game against Franklin Pierce, the threes just weren't falling, right? So they had to rely on the defensive side. You think you're going to see again more of that today? You think head coach Sade Jackson will have a feel, and if the threes are going down, and she'll switch it up and try to have more of a defensive presence?
Yeah, I think that's certainly a possibility. I mean, you look at it, right? 4 for 10 for Caitlin O'Connell. The rest of the team was 0 for 10 from three-point range.
19 points for her.
Yeah, so she had a big bounce-back game. That kind of helped spark the offense a little bit, but really it was the defense that was the standout against Franklin Pierce. A tough game 2 games ago against Southern Connecticut defensively. Really nice bounce-back game on the defensive side against Pierce.
He's Tom Verdi. I'm Brian Rascona. We'll have more of the festivities, the opening tip in just a few minutes right here on Flo College. All good. Welcome to the Center of Sports and Recreation here in Garden City, New York for a non-conference matchup between the Virginia Union Lady Panthers as they pay a visit to the Adelphi Panthers. Good afternoon. I am Brian Rascona. I'm joined by Tom Verdi as the starting lineups are getting announced. The AU Panthers without their second leading scorer today, who is unavailable in Isabella Asensio, Tom.
Yeah, second straight game that she's going to be unavailable, and certainly puts some more pressure on other players to have to step up. Caitlin O'Connell, of course, had a big bounce-back game last game, 19 points for her after just 5 in the previous outing against Southern Connecticut. So she's certainly one of those players that'll have to step up. Victoria Morgan is going to get her spot in the starting lineup, so we'll look for her to step up as well. She's given them some nice minutes off the bench. Now today she'll have to do it in the starting lineup instead.
It'll be interesting. We said in the pregame how much of emphasis has been put on the defensive side of things, and the AU Panthers like to drain the threes. We'll see if Sade Jackson has what she has up her sleeve for, again, a non-conference matchup. It's going to be difficult, wouldn't you say, that two teams that haven't seen each other to kind of feel each other out in the first half, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's usually how it goes in these non-conference games. A little bit of a feeling out process early on, and to me, again, normally that might favor the defenses, and we were already expecting the defenses to have strong performances today. Two teams that really thrive on the defensive side of the ball.
Starters for the AU Panthers as follows. Caitlin O'Connell had 19 points against Franklin Pierce in the win against Franklin Pierce last contest. Victoria Morgan will be at the guard position, senior from Liverpool, New York. Rolanda Robinson, senior guard from Brooklyn. Christina Sanchez, the junior from Copiague, Long Island. And rounding out the starting 5 will be the freshman forward, Gamila Benton from Ocean Township, New Jersey. As we await the tip, we'll go over the starting lineup for the Virginia Union Lady Panthers. Rory Cox, the graduate student guard, number 0 for the Virginia Union Lady Panthers. Brittany Martin, senior guard from Winston Churchill High School out in Potomac, Maryland. Bruni Sanchez, the junior forward. Navia Reeves, and of course, Tania Green. Tania Green, Tom, the leading scorer for this Virginia Union squad.
Yeah, there's not a lot she doesn't do for this team right now. Leads the team in points per game, rebounds per game, free throw makes, free throw attempts. She's been an all-CIAA pick for rival in the conference, St. Augustine's University, for the last few years, and now Coach Tierra Terry gets to bring her into Virginia Union, where she's just having a phenomenal season, averaging 17 and almost 9 boards per game.
Two teams going in the right direction as the AU Panthers come in 6-2 overall, 2-1 in the conference, and in non-conference games they're 4-1. The Virginia Union Lady Panthers come in 5-3 overall, 1-0 in the conference. As we await the tip here at center court. 1:30 matchup this afternoon. The single game here at Adelphi University. A lot of times they have the men's and women's doubleheader, but today it's just a single game. O'Connell up top, feeds it back around the horn. Victoria Morgan now plays it outside to Rolanda Robinson. She'll take the jump shot from just inside the 3-point mark. Rebound for Virginia Union.
First shot of the game for the Panthers is one from outside on the perimeter.
Here's Cox driving to the basket, gets it taken away as O'Connell now will push it up the floor. Over the timeline now, assessing the offense, calling the play is O'Connell. Tries to feed it to the outside to Robinson. Robinson now to Morgan. Morgan up top to Gamila Benton. Now O'Connell driving the lane, a layup, back of the rim, comes out. Coming the other way now is Virginia Union. Cox with it on the far side. Cox almost a palming violation as she turned over that basketball. No call by the official. Now up top is number 21, Navia Reeves. They work it around the horn. It's Martinez back to Cox. Cox will stop on a dime, fake a 3 into the corner. Shot with the left hand, off, rebound, put back up. Rebound to the AU Panthers.
Yeah, and rebounding is going to be key today. Virginia Union has some good size, 2 players in the starting lineup at 6 feet tall or better, so certainly something to watch. Benton's going to have her work cut out for her trying to rebound on the inside.
Here's a drive inside, left-hand layup, rejected, and we get a foul call. as the ball seemed to be cleanly swatted by Tania Green. Nevertheless, the AU Panthers will see themselves at the foul line for the first time today.
Yeah, that Virginia Union bench was unhappy with the call. Tiara Terry's getting an explanation, and I think the official said there was a little bit of body contact. Maybe that was more the foul than the hand, which, as you said, it looked like a very clean block, at least with the hand to the ball from where we were up here.
As Victoria Morgan makes the first. Victoria Morgan, a 71% free throw shooter. She makes them both, and Adelphi's on the board here. It's 2-0. Working it back outside to Cox. O'Connell on Cox. Works it back inside to Martinez. She makes a move, kicks it outside to Green. Green in the middle. Now to Reeves. Reeves with a layup, and she puts it in. First points on the board for Virginia Union.
Yeah, but I like how the Panthers were defending there against Tania Green. She got the ball inside, and she was kind of swarmed, a couple of Panthers defenders collapsing on her. I think it's going to be more than just a one-person job for Benton to try to defend Green today.
Everybody touching the ball for the AU Panthers on the offensive end. Here's Benton. She'll work it back out. Coming around the pick now is Martinez. Check that. Morgan to the corner now. Robinson with a drive, and it's waved off as an offensive foul is called. As Rolanda Robinson was driving to the basket and gave a forearm shiver on the process.
And foul trouble is something that can occasionally plague Robinson. She's a very aggressive defender. That time she gets called for the offensive foul, so something to keep an eye on here. If she picks up an early second one, that's going to mean some time on the bench for Robinson.
Double team on Cox. Cox moves towards the timeline. Now works it back up top to Reeves. Reeves forces one inside, deflected by Morgan as she was looking for Bruni Martinez on the low block.
And again, good active hands by the Panthers. Again, they've been thriving on that defensive identity this season, and their goal for pretty much every game, they want to keep opponents in that under 60-point range. That's where they've had their success.
The three from Green, and she'll knock it down. We said it in the pregame. Leading scorer for Virginia Union, and she hits one from beyond the arc with about 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, and if she's knocking those down today, that's going to make her extremely tough to deal with because she's already so good inside. So if she can take on the perimeter like that, that's going to be a real problem for Adelphi.
Caitlin O'Connell up top inside to Benton. Benton free throw line extended. She'll work it back around to Robinson. Robinson uses the Benton pick from the elbow and off the back of the rim. Rebound right back to Virginia Union.
And still to me for the Panthers, sorry, Brian, I think Panthers need to be a little bit more aggressive trying to attack the rim. Right now it seems like settling for a lot of the shots on the perimeter.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say they're pretty much one and done on the offensive end. Three-pointer from deep. No good by Cox. Rebound right back to Virginia Union. And right off the bat, I don't need to look at the stats. Adelphi's losing this rebound battle right now early. Yeah,
for sure. And a couple on the offensive side as well, which I don't think Adelphi have any offensive boards as of yet. But Virginia Union has a couple already. Unfortunate that one led to a turnover instead of a second chance opportunity.
Work back in, Benton on the outside. Virginia Union putting the pressure on in the backcourt early. Work back around to Robinson. Robinson will hand off now to Sanchez. Sanchez back towards the corner for O'Connell. Works it back up top to Sanchez. Dribbling with the left-hand drive. She tries to lay it up off the front of the rim, but draws the foul.
And again, to me, that's what I want to see if I'm head coach Sade Jackson. You want to see this Panthers team be a bit more aggressive. Try to find ways to get higher percentage looks instead of settling for those long twos that we've mostly seen so far. So nice job by Morgan. Took it aggressively to the hoop and gets herself to the free throw line here.
Sade Jackson, the head coach for Adelphi in her fourth season. Sanchez puts it up and off the back of the rim and out. As we're approaching 6 minutes left in the first. Adelphi trailing Virginia Union by 3. Sanchez, her second one is up and no good. So 0 for 2 for Sanchez from the stripe. Cox working it around on the right side. Gives it to Green. Fakes the three. Drives in. Layup. No good. Rebound now. Robinson as she fights for it. And now coming out of the pack is O'Connell. O'Connell with a deep three. She did it against Franklin Pierce, and she's doing it again right now against Virginia Union.
Yeah, you've got to really be super aggressive on O'Connell on the perimeter because she is a player who is a constant threat to knock that three-point shot down. And didn't matter, transition, catch and shoot. She'll take it any way she can get it. That time in transition, it was a little bit slow for Virginia Union to get out to her. She took advantage.
Game knotted up at 5. Possession for Virginia Union. Virginia Union going right to left on your streaming device in their maroon jerseys, gray numerals, and it appears to be dark blue trim. Shot from the free throw line is good as Brittany Martin gets her name on the stat sheet. She knocks it down.
Yeah, good shot from Martin, good ball movement. They found her pretty wide open near the free throw line for the jumper.
O'Connell up top. Works it left, uses the pick from Robinson. Robinson now will take it off the roll. She'll drive to the basket, kick it out to the corner. Work back around O'Connell. Pump fake, and she's called for a travel. You know it's college when you get a call for a travel like that, right, Tom? You don't see that in the NBA.
Yeah, that is true. They usually let them get away with it. Feels like a little bit more at the pro game, but that's good ball movement. I mean, even though it led to the travel, that's what you want to see. Nice drive and kick, extra pass, set up O'Connell. I think that's a good recipe for Adelphi.
Drive inside again as Brittany Martin knocks it down in the lane again, and Virginia Union takes a 4-point lead. It's 9-5.
And Martin only averages about 4 a game, but she looks very comfortable right now. Back-to-back buckets to bring her to 4 today.
I mean, both times she was wide open. There wasn't a defender within 3 feet, so you hope she makes those. Kick back up top now, Sanchez. Work back around. Sanchez uses the pick. Left hand layup, no good. Rebounded by Cox. Cox working it. She's got Green to her right. Layup no good. Put back no good. And the rebound as Victoria Morgan knocks it out. Check that. Victoria Morgan was on the free throw stripe the last time. I kept saying Sanchez, but it's Victoria Morgan. As she knocks it out with the left hand, possession will remain with Virginia Union.
A lot of credit to Gamila Benton there. She really hustled back hard and made that fast break opportunity a difficult one for Virginia Union.
Inside Green, she'll work it up again and knocks it down. Tania Green again striking. She's got 5 so far.
Yeah, and it's hard to defend much better than that. Hands up defense. It was well played by Benton, but you just tip your cap to Green for a nice finish.
Worked inside to Benton. Benton now makes a move on Greaves. She drives in, stops, and she gets called for a travel as well as she slid that left foot trying to work it inside against Green.
Yeah, now a couple of, self-inflicted errors by the Panthers the last few trips down, 2 traveling calls. And again, in a game where offense is going to come at a premium, you don't really want to be giving away too many possessions with those self-inflicted wounds.
11-5 the score here as we get a 3-second violation. Ball will be turned over to the Adelphi Panthers. We'll get a substitution here. Haley Blackwell now will come into the game for Virginia Union. She replaces Reeves.
And it looks like Lauren Bieberman checking in for Adelphi as well. She's coming off a career-high 12 points in the game against Franklin Pierce.
Bieberman replaces Sanchez. It's worked outside around the horn to Bieberman. She feeds Robinson inside. Little bit of a triangle offense as O'Connell hits again from deep. Caitlin O'Connell now has 6. She's 2 for 2 from beyond the stripe.
Yeah, that's what you have to worry about if you're Virginia Union, is letting O'Connell get hot because she can really start to knock him down from 3.
Work back into Green. Defense collapses on Green as Bieberman now will tie up Maya Charles inside.
And Bieberman was great on the defensive side last game as well. Besides the career-high 12 points, she had 4 steals, 3 blocks.
Inbounded out to Green, outside the 3-point line. Switch off now, Bieberman on Green. Green with the right hand. She goes right through the lane and in. Tania Green again. She's got 7 in the first. 2:46 left to go in the period.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of the film study for Adelphi was trying to game plan around stopping her. So far, she's having her way.
Worked outside to Bieberman. She goes up top to Benton. Benton gives a pick to O'Connell. Collin with the jump shot off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Cox. Cox likes to push it up floor. She does so. She's being guarded by Morgan. Robinson over to help out. Working it back around the outside. Now back inside to Green. Green with another step and another attempt at a lay-in in the lane, and she draws the foul this time.
And this one is going to go against Benton, and it'll be her first, but at some point you wonder as well if we'll see Letitia Willis, the 6-foot senior transfer from Queens College, who can sometimes spell Benton on the inside and give some nice defensive minutes. And instead it looks like the Panthers are maybe going to go with a little bit of a different look, and Ariana Coopy is going to make her way out there, the St. Rose transfer.
Ariana Coopy from Blaubelt, New York. Checks in for Benton, and now it's O'Connell bringing the ball up the floor. O'Connell guarded by Martin. Works it back around to Bieberman. Inside to Coopy. Coopy now from the top. Zone offense being run by the Panthers as they bring that center up to, or power forward up to the free throw line. Robinson on the drive, tries to lay it up and in, and she draws the foul. This will look like a defensive foul as the official checks with the other official on the far sideline. And it will be a defensive foul, and going to the stripe now will be Robinson.
And again, Brian, I know we talked about it a little bit, but when the Panthers have been aggressive and tried to attack the rim, I feel like they've been consistently getting to the free throw line. So to me, that's even more reason to try it. Don't limit yourself to those perimeter jumpers. See if you can continue to attack, maybe pick up a couple more fouls, get some of these Lady Panthers for Virginia Union in foul trouble. I don't think that's a bad thing, especially if you can get a player like Green in foul trouble, and you don't want to see her on the floor. So if you can limit her a little bit with some foul trouble, that would be a boost.
Got to make your free throws, though, as Robinson's 1 for 2. And I agree. You got to work it inside and then kick it out to O'Connell on the outside. Don't let O'Connell do it all, as we have a steal by Bieberman. Bieberman on the other way, and she tries to lay it up and in. Following is Morgan, and she'll lay it up. Good hustle by the AU Panthers, paying dividends as Morgan was able to follow the miss by Bieberman.
Yeah, it was a bit of a lazy floated pass. Bieberman stole it, and a great job by Morgan, as you said, hustling to follow it up for the rebound.
Absolutely. Cox outside at the point. She'll step back, take a three with the left hand, and drains it. Step back three for Cox. And now Virginia Union's back up 7. It's 18-11.
Yeah, she averages about 10 a game, about a 30% three-point shooter, and looks very confident from out there.
Over the top now, Bieberman. Handoff now to Morgan. Morgan again on the drive. She'll stop, reverse, come back now to O'Connell. O'Connell pulls it back. Looking to run a play. Coopy sets a pick. She doesn't use it. Goes left. Kicks it out into the corner. Bieberman a three. In and out. And rebound now. Virginia Union going the other way. Brittany Martin now will hand it. Now Cox near side. Played by Robinson. They'll go inside. Here's a floating hook shot off the back of the rim as the shot was taken by Maya Charles. Here's Bieberman. Bieberman on the drive. Over and under, and she can't knock it down with the left hand. Rebounded by Green, and Virginia Union coming the other way. 20 seconds now on the game clock.
Yeah, she went very early in the timer there, and now it left Virginia Union with a lot of time here for this final possession.
Inside to Green. Who else? As she drives inside, deflected by Coopy. Nice play by Ariana Coopy, as now the possession will remain with Virginia Union. 7.5 seconds left on the clock.
See if the Panthers can get a defensive stop here and keep this game at 7 heading into the quarter break.
Right over to Green, 6 on the clock. She works it inside the paint. Robinson gets a hand in. Kick back out. Martin can't handle it. O'Connell now steals it, and she can't get the shot off at the buzzer, and that'll do it for the first quarter here at Adelphi University. Right now, after 1, Virginia Union jumps out to a 7-point advantage. It's 18-11. We'll be right back right here. Where else? You're watching the NE10 now on Flow College. Welcome back to Flow College as we get you set for the second quarter here at Adelphi University. Virginia Union up 7. They currently lead 18-11. And Tom, I mean, we were talking about it during the first quarter, right? The percentages there from the field, they're getting Virginia Union into foul trouble, but you look at the glaring difference, and it's obviously the rebounds. Virginia Union has 12 to Adelphi's 4.
Yeah, it's been a big advantage so far, no question about that. And offensive rebounds 4-1 as well. So that's led to a few, extra chances for Virginia Union. But on the other side, we talked about both of these teams being really good in the turnover margin, and it winds up being the Panthers +2 in the turnover margin after that first quarter. So I'm sure they'll want to keep that going, try to limit the turnovers as best as they can. But certainly, yeah, if the rebound battle continues like that throughout the game, that's going to be a big problem for Adelphi.
Well, we'll see if Sade Jackson talked about it during the break after the first quarter. As the ball's back in play here, up top to Koopy. Koopy stays in. Tries to work it to Morgan, loses possession, regains, now out to Robinson. Robinson, jab step right. She decides to go right, driving to the basket, gets pushed into the lane outside of Bieberman. A three from deep off the front of the rim and out. As the three-pointer was taken by Christina Sanchez. Work back out to Cox. Cox drained the three before the period ended. She drives the lane with the left hand, goes over the rim. Rebound now to Victoria Morgan. She drives into the below block for Ariana Krupe, and she can't handle the pass, and that'll be another turnover for the AU Panthers.
And that was the right idea. Krupe did a great job running the floor as a big and got ahead of the pack there, but the bounce pass was maybe a little bit in her feet and had a hard time gathering it, winds up leading to a turnover.
Haley Blackwell now brings the ball up over the timeline. She's guarded by Christina Sanchez, works it around to Brittany Martin, back out to the top. Charles. Now to Martin, inside to Green, working it back out. Into the corner for Cox. Cox guarded by Bieberman. Major advantage for the Panthers from a height standpoint. Bieberman on Cox, and a turnover for Virginia Union. Here comes Robinson the other way. Kicks it outside, works it back around. Bieberman on the drive. She'll lay it up with the right hand off the back of the rim, rebounded by Charles.
Yeah, it felt like it was there. Kind of opened up for Bieberman on that drive into the paint, just couldn't hit it.
Cox now dribbles it off her knee, and the Panthers have numbers if they hurry. Sanchez gives it off to Robinson. Sanchez fakes the three, decides to drive. Now she loses the ball. Possession given up as Charles makes the steal.
Yeah, by the time she committed to that drive, Virginia Union had gotten enough bodies back, and all of a sudden she was driving into a very clogged, painted area there.
Blackwell now works it on the outside to Cox. Cox dribbles towards the free throw line, and the height advantage pays dividends for Bieberman as she makes the steal, and it's knocked out by Cox. Possession will remain with the Panthers.
And again, you can see the defensive dividends paying for Bieberman here in the minutes that she's getting, coming up with big steals, doing all those things on the defensive end that you want to see if you're head coach Sade Jackson. That's going to, continue to get her minutes if she continues to play like that.
She's got long arms, and it showed right there. Inbounded now to Robinson. Coming back into the game is Caitlin O'Connell. Also checking in for Virginia Union is Kennedy Matthews. Here's O'Connell, wide open three, and off the front of the rim and out. Rebounded by Matthews.
Yeah, nice little rub screen there set by Adelphi to just get her open.
Blackwell to Charles, feeds Green, who else? And she knocks it down, and it looks like we'll have a timeout for the Panthers here. This will be a full timeout, Tom, so we'll step aside just for a moment. And we'll be right back with the second quarter of play right here at Adelphi University. You're watching Adelphi Panthers basketball, the NE10 on Flow College. Out of the timeout, the Virginia Union Lady Panthers currently lead by 9 over the AU Panthers. It's 20-11. Tania Green leading all scorers with 11. After the lay-ins, Sade Jackson wanted to call timeout and talk to the girls, as now we're back in action here.
Yeah, she's been a constant threat, 4 of 6 from the field, and again, she does so much of her damage within that 6, 8, 10-foot area around the hoop. So Panthers have got to try to find ways to stop her because right now she's getting it a little bit too easy in there.
Got to get her out of the paint. Here's Robinson right up top. Robinson with the jump shot off the left side of the rim, rebounded by Matthews. Matthews out to Blackwell. Work back out to Matthews, inside to Charles, or check that, Green. Now back to Green, top of the key, poked away by Krupe. Work back around to Blackwell, and through the hands of Brittany Martin. That'll be a backcourt violation. Ball turned over to the Panthers.
Yeah, she wasn't able to get there in time to save that one. And again, the turnover margin continues to be in Adelphi's favor. Should be +4 after that last one, the 9th turnover by Virginia Union.
7 minutes left in the first half. Adelphi still down 9. Sanchez works it around. Morgan to Robinson. To the top now, Krupe. O'Connell fakes the 3. She goes left with it. Hands off to Sanchez. Sanchez inside to Krupe, and it's off Krupe's left hand and out of bounds. Turnover back to Virginia Union.
Yeah, right idea. I think Sanchez thought that was kind of part of a screen and roll situation, but it didn't seem like Krupe had her head up for the return pass there. And for Adelphi, still looking to get their first points of the second quarter right now.
Matthews gets it tipped by Sanchez. They regain possession inside to Green. Green tries to work it to Charles, taken away by Adelphi. Here comes Robinson on the move. Over to O'Connell. O'Connell, numbers, kicks it outside. The 3, no good, as the 3 was taken by Victoria Morgan. Free throw line inside to Charles, guarded by Robinson, and Charles puts it in with the right hand, and now a commanding lead for Virginia Union. They're up 11, check that, 22-11.
And Charles, another player with really good size for Virginia Union. So, with her and Green both out there, it makes it even tougher for the Panthers to defend in the post.
Well, we said it during the pregame, they lack size inside, do the Panthers. We'll see what they can do with it, and they're losing the inside paint battle, that's for sure. Layup missed by Robinson, taken back by Virginia Union. Matthews plays it out to Charles, inside to Green. Green up against Krupe, off the front of the rim, rebounded now by Robinson.
And still for the Panthers, just the one offensive rebound in the game. So it's been a lot of one and done on those missed shots.
O'Connell to Robinson up top. Now it's Morgan. Morgan makes a move on Charles. Left-handed layup is in and out. Rebound by Green. Haley Blackwell up the right side. Inside to Green. She's guarded by Krupe. Works it back to Charles. They like the matchup. Charles again, good defense by Robinson this time, and she gets the rebound. Robinson closing in, height advantage, and we get a bump and a foul call on Brittany Martin. That'll send Rolanda Robinson back to the free throw line.
Yeah, and we mentioned the free throw advantage so far. Free throw attempts are 6-2 for Adelphi with 2 more on the way, but as you alluded to earlier, Brian, you got to take advantage when you're there. Only 3 of 6 from the stripe so far to begin the game, so they need to start taking more advantage when they get themselves to the free throw line.
Also 2 of 6 beyond the three-point line. They're shooting 33%. Virginia Union 2 for 4 behind the three-point line at 50%. First shot by Robinson is good. Cuts into the lead a little bit. Panthers down 10 with 5:06 now left to go in the half. Robinson doesn't waste any time, puts it right up and in. She goes 2 for 2 at the stripe this time. Adelphi down 9. Bieberman comes in for Robinson after the free throw.
We also get a look at Madison Williams, the freshman for Adelphi, who has started to become more of a factor in the rotation for Sade Jackson over the last couple of games. And an impressive high school career, but of course always tough for freshmen to kind of break into that rotation early in the season.
Nice trap put on by O'Connell and Bieberman into the corner, just over the timeline. Caused a possession jump ball. Ball remains back with Virginia Union. Inside now to Charles. Charles on the low block, and we have a foul call. Foul will go against Krupe.
Again, I like to see for Adelphi those guards. It seemed like they were trying to get in there, slash away at the big as soon as she put the ball down on the floor.
They run the stack on the inbound inside, and a foul is called as the shot was taken by Tatiana Jones. They call her Tot, and she'll go have 2 at the free throw line.
And again, another 6-footer that they can bring in off the bench. So we've seen that a lot today where they've had at least 2 6-footers out there and have tried to make it difficult. Did a good job of catching that pass inside, going right up to the rim with it, drawing contact.
A lot of size for the Lady Panthers, and they've been using it so far in the first half. Off the back rim on the first free throw attempt. 4:51 left. Brian Rascona and Tom Verdi joining you live from Adelphi University. A non-conference matchup here this afternoon. Good turnout on a Saturday. And it is cold out. It has not warmed up here on Long Island, that's for sure. O'Connell now, as Virginia Union misses 2 free throws. Work back outside for Williams. Now back to O'Connell. O'Connell in the corner for Bieberman. Bieberman steps on the out-of-bounds line, and the ball's turned over now to Virginia Union.
Yeah, unlucky there, but, I do think now you start to see it. Caitlin O'Connell drawing more attention, certainly, from that Virginia Union defense, and so she might have to turn a little bit more to that distributor point guard that she's been at times in her career.
Inside through the legs, and possession turned back over to the Panthers as Jones couldn't handle the pass. Bieberman will inbound. O'Connell will bring it up. 4:25 left to go in the first half. Adelphi still trails by 9. Worked around by O'Connell. She draws the double team. Back out to Coopy. Shot by Williams, deflected by Maya Charles. Here comes Blackwell up to the front court. Played by O'Connell. Works it inside, back to Charles, returning the favor, and Charles is fouled by Ariana Coopy.
Yeah, and I like what I've seen so far from the freshman out of Brooklyn, New York, the Mary Lewis Academy product, Maya Charles. She looks long, effective on the defensive side. We've seen her cause some trouble for Adelphi on the offensive side as well, and 2-time The Tablet All-Star selection during her time at Mary Lewis.
Rolanda Robinson will check in, as well as Benton. Left-handed floater in the lane, in and out. Nice move by number 21, Reeves, rebounded by the Panthers. They come the other way. Here's O'Connell. O'Connell uses the pick from Robinson. Feeds Robinson with a spin move inside in the paint. She draws the foul. Rolanda Robinson again is going to see the free throw line, Tom.
And I think that might be number 2 on Charles if they get it on her. And, with that, you might see her get an early hook with still 3 and change to go in this first.
And she's been a force.
Yeah.
Robinson knocks it down. She's hit 3 in a row so far from the free throw line after missing 1 in her first trip. Second one is up and in. So Rolanda Robinson makes the best out of a foul and knocks down 2 free throws.
The Panthers come with a little bit of that 1-2-2 again that we've seen them use effectively a few times today.
Panthers down 7, coming up on 3:30 left in the half. Worked inside, spin move, kicks it back out. Shot from deep, off the back of the rim, rebound for Benton. Shot taken by Kennedy Matthews.
And I would have liked to see Jones go up with that. With her size, the way she got inside there, I would have rather seen her take it right to the rim instead of kicking that one back out.
O'Connell from deep, she can hit it. As she falls down to the floor, goes in and out, rebounded by Blackwell. Blackwell. Over to Reeves, back to Blackwell, inside to Jones. Jones, double team by Bieberman. There's those long arms again as Bieberman is able to make the steal.
3rd steal of the game so far for Bieberman.
Works it out to Morgan. Morgan now to O'Connell as she listens to instructions from her head coach. She's guarded by Reeves. She'll work it to the foul line for Robinson. Robinson makes a move, puts it up off the front of the rim. Rebound by Benton. And we'll have a foul call on number 33, Benton, a push-off foul. And the ball will get turned over going the other way.
Tough one. I didn't really see a whole lot of contact down there, but it goes against Benton, and a chance that looked like it was going to possibly be an offensive rebound, which the Panthers haven't had many of today. Instead, winds up leading to an offensive foul.
The freshman was not happy about it either, Tom. She was complaining, looking at the coach, saying, what did I do? I have a stoppage in play right here. Not sure why. 2:36 left to go in the half. Adelphi down by 7. Possession turned over to Virginia Union off the foul call on Gamila Benton. And they're looking at the back of Rolanda Robinson's jersey. Maybe it's blood. Did they see blood, maybe?
It's possible, yeah. I mean, of course, anytime that happens, the player usually heads over to the trainer, and the trainer tries to wash it out really quick. But after all that, they took a look, and they seemed satisfied, so Robinson's staying in.
I guess we're back, yeah. All right, back in action. Blackwell makes a move on Bieberman. Bieberman deflects it right into the hands of Jones, works it inside to Charles, mismatch inside. Charles misses the layup. And now O'Connell with the rebound. She looks to push. Near side to Robinson. Robinson finds Bieberman in the corner. She sets up. No good. It's an air ball by Bieberman. Had plenty of time in the corner. Blackwell pushing it on O'Connell. She'll float it up with the right hand. Goes over the rim. Rebound by Jones. Jones with the ups as she gets shoved to the floor. And a foul call, I believe, on Rolanda Robinson.
And that'll be 2 on Robinson as well, so it looks like she might be getting the hook here late in the second quarter. But, you know, it's funny, we talk about the three-point shot for Adelphi, and it doesn't even really feel like they're forcing them today. A lot of times they're taking the open look that they've been getting and unfortunately just haven't been knocking them down. 2 of 8 to start from deep.
Tot Jones at the line. First one is up and good for Jones. 2:02 left in the half. Virginia Union up 8, 23-15. Second one is up and good for Virginia Union. And number 22, Letitia Willis, also checked in. Sorry, Tom.
Yep, I was just going to say it's interesting to see Willis and Benton out there together. Usually we see Willis come in for Benton a lot, and so maybe Coach Jackson trying to answer with some more size.
Size on size as Benton drives the lane and misses the layup. Reeves now pushes it up, gives it over to Blackwell. She'll work it back around. Jab step, driving the lane, finding Green. Green goes up with it, and we have another foul call. This will go against Victoria Morgan of the Panthers.
And the Panthers, they're at least trying to make it difficult against Green. They surrounded her with 3 or 4 white jerseys, but one of them inevitably winds up fouling her instead, and so that sends Green to the line. And give her credit, she's been taking advantage when she's gotten there, 74% free throw shooter.
Green knocks down her 12th point of the afternoon, knocks down number 13. And now the lead swells back up to 11 for Virginia Union. It's hard for me to see the scoreboard where I am here today. O'Connell gets tied up. Out to Bieber. Bieber drives the lane. Bieber's fouled by Reeves as Reeves claims she had all ball. So Bieberman now will go to the free throw line for the Panthers.
And we got to look at some of that swarming Virginia Union D on that last set. I mean, they were all over Caitlin O'Connell, almost forced her into a turnover. Eventually she got rid of it. But then they stayed really tight on Bieberman as she drove to the rim, and she winds up getting to the free throw line.
Bieberman, a 57% free throw shooter, knocks the first one down. Morgan, O'Connell, Willis, Benton, and Bieberman on. And she'll knock down the second one. So Bieberman's 2 for 2 today from the stripe. And now the Panthers will put some pressure on in the backcourt. Here's Cox now, just came back in. Bieberman with a deflection. Morgan now will take it. Possession turned over to Adelphi. So there's Bieberman again defensively coming through for AU.
Yeah, she's been big there. Hasn't been her day really so far offensively, but coming up with a lot of steals, playing that really good defense for Adelphi.
Morgan will use the O'Connell pick. She'll drive with the left hand and put it in. Victoria Morgan goes lefty and knocks it down. Inside Jones over to Green now. Green will kick it back out to Cox. Blackwell works it around. Three-pointer's good as Kennedy Matthews drains it from outside.
Really nice ball movement there. And this Virginia Union team, not great from three, only about 26% from downtown, but Matthews able to hit the open look.
29-19 as O'Connell takes one from deep. Off the front rim, hits the top of the backboard, and possession will go back to Virginia Union. As they're up 29-19 with 30.3 left, you'll see if they try to rush it up for a 2-for-1. And they're not. They're going to hold it. As Blackwell now will push it up floor to Jones. Jones cross court over to Cox. She's guarded by Morgan. She'll drive, feed it to Jones, closing in. Nice play from Cox to Jones for Virginia Union. 10 seconds left to go in the half. Cox putting pressure on O'Connell. 6 now on the clock. O'Connell makes a move, crossover. She'll fake the three. Now take it, and it goes wide right as O'Connell shows her frustration after that possession, and that'll do it here for the first half of play at Adelphi University. The Virginia Union Lady Panthers up 12 after the first half. They lead 31-19. And we'll be right back with the second half, of course. Brian Rascona live from Adelphi University along with Tom Verdi. You are watching the NE10 now, only on Flo College.
Move over basic fall flavors. Loaded steak and potato has arrived. It's the perfect flavor combo of sirloin steak, seasoned potatoes, sour cream, shredded cheese, bacon, and our famous queso. Order at Moe's.com or through our app.
Being a Northeast 10 student athlete is about a lot of things. It's about having an impact on the field, in the classroom, and in our communities. It's about leading the way and setting the standard across Division II. Being an NE10 student athlete is about embracing the work, finding our balance, enjoying our journey, and embracing the victory.
Amazing, come on!
It's about embracing self-discovery, growing as an athlete, a student, a person, and a leader. Being a Northeast 10 student athlete is about embracing you.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
At Adelphi University, extraordinary happens every day. Our classes, smaller. Our academics, world-class. Financial aid, generous. Clubs and organizations to choose from, over 90. Graduating salaries, higher. Over $80,000 a year. A U.S. News and World Report Best College, with over 75 undergraduate programs and 4+1 programs to save a year of time and tuition. Top-ranked academics with hands-on learning in healthcare, STEM, arts and humanities, social work, psychology, and the business and teaching professions, with career guidance that's won national recognition. More scholarships, more internships, more friendships. Wherever you're going, whatever your goal, expect extraordinary, because extraordinary happens here. Adelphi University.
Out today, right? 24-12, the rebounds for Virginia Union, and they've just been using that size consistently on the inside. They've got multiple 6-footers that they can go in the starting lineup or off the bench and really have had the size advantage against Adelphi throughout. And part of that, of course, has to do with Adelphi missing some shots, right? The more you miss, the more rebound chances for the other team, but it's been dominant inside for Virginia Union, and 5-2 on the offensive boards as well.
Points in the paint also, 12 for Virginia Union and 4 for AU. So we'll see what kind of mid-game adjustments the Panthers have made as we're back in action here. He's Tom Verdi. I'm Brian Rascona, live on Flow College. They work it inside in the paint now. Cox with the left hand, gets her own rebound, and puts it back again. And there we go, another rebound again for Virginia Union. They were unable to capitalize, but they still got the offensive board.
Yeah, that's what we've seen a lot. They've been very scrappy, fighting for those rebounds, especially on the offensive glass. They've had a couple of extra chances that way, whereas the Panthers, again, have mostly been limited to one and done. And again, for Adelphi, one of their advantages, they had the free throw advantage, 12 attempts to 6, so you'd like to see them stay aggressive there.
Robinson from outside off the front of the rim as she shot the three-pointer, rebounded by Virginia Union. They come the other way from left to right now. It's Cox. Cox works it outside to Reeves. Reeves defended by Sanchez. She'll work it back around the horn as Bruni Martinez takes a shot for 3, goes off the front edge of the rim, rebounded by Caitlin O'Connell, looks to push it up, feeds Robinson. Robinson in the lane with the right hand, rebound by Betton, and that's what you want to see if you're the Panthers, is those offensive rebounds, second chance opportunities.
Yeah, that was huge from Betton, and we talked about how big she was going to have to be in this game, not only defending Green, but also you want her to contribute on the offensive glass as well.
Rolling around and getting the pass and shooting the 3 as she's called for another travel. Her second one today was Caitlin O'Connell.
And, you know, much like we saw in the last game, O'Connell is the only one hitting three-point shots. She was 4 of 10 against Pierce. The rest of the team was 0 for 10. Today she's 2 for 6, and the rest of the team is 0 for 5.
Here's Cox now. Jab step, comes back outside the three-point line. She'll feed it inside to Green. Green with the right hand, and a nice swat by Betton. Good job defensively by big number 33.
Yeah, even as a freshman, she's proving how important she is to what Adelphi does.
Pump fake, O'Connell drives. She's met by Green. Decides to stop and kick it back out. Probably a good decision. Out to Sanchez. Inside to Betton, and she's swatted. And it goes off Betton. What a play by Tania Green.
And right back, those two kind of going head-to-head, right? Betton with a block at one end, and then Green responding with a block herself at the other side.
And we'll get a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. as the timeout was called by Virginia Union. Tom, I got a trivia question for you. What legendary New York Knick came out of Virginia Union?
I don't have the answer. It's a good question, though.
I don't know how old you are. So, I mean, I'm 42. I'm not sure how old you are. But Charles Oakley came from Virginia Union. So there you go. When I saw Virginia Union on the schedule, immediately I thought Charles Oakley. So,
well, this is probably, the most exciting time since those 90s Knicks for the Knicks right now, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to the game tonight. Pumped about it. They're playing the lowly Pistons, and they're giving out a Knicks pennant tonight as a promotional item, so I got to grab that for my son. But, yes, I'll be going there right after this one here at Adelphi. All right, out of the timeout, Virginia Union with possession. They break the press as they come to the front court. Cross-court pass to Cox. Cox is wide open. Left-handed three. Air ball. Green tries to save it. And it goes right out of bounds as Green gives herself a little chuckle in the process as the ball went right behind her and stayed out of bounds.
It's tough, honestly. You go for those saves. Sometimes you wind up sending it right to the other team. You could start their fast break almost. That time the ball didn't even make it 2 inches, I don't think.
Drive inside for Morgan. She lays it in. First points of the second half for Adelphi.
And Morgan now with a team high 8 for Adelphi.
Stolen away by Sanchez. She's all by herself coming down the other way. And a 4-0 run early in the second half for Adelphi. And now they trail by 8, 31-23.
And certainly not the response that Tierra Terry was looking for out of that timeout. I mean, she called the tee. She was maybe trying to get her team going. Maybe she thought they were starting a little bit slow to begin the half, and all of a sudden a little spurt here for Adelphi.
Swatted by Sanchez again. Sanchez defensively on 2 possessions as the Panthers put the press on in this second half. Sanchez tight on Blackwell. They feed it, driving in, shot no good. Green the rebound, puts it up and the foul. So Tania Green puts it in off the rebound. Another offensive rebound for Virginia Union, and she'll go to the stripe for 1.
And that's where it just gets so tough for Adelphi, right? You force another miss. Virginia Union starts the quarter 0 for 6 shooting, but then there's Green cleaning it up. She gets a bucket, and now even a chance for one more at the line.
Just a confidence killer right now if you're the AU Panthers. Shot is up and good for Green. She's got 16 on the afternoon. Puts Virginia Union back up by 11. 7:25 left to go in the third. Robinson to Morgan. Defended by Martin. They'll switch off. Blackwell now on Morgan up top. Pick is set by O'Connell. Works it outside. Sanchez with a 3, and it's good. Someone other than Caitlin O'Connell gets in the scorebook from three-point land, and this time it's Christina Sanchez.
And a really nice drive and kick found her wide open on the left wing.
And the turnover forced by the Panthers. Their defense has been much better now in this second half, Tom.
Yep, for sure. And again, the turnover margin is one of the things that has been in their favor. They were +6 at the break and have forced Virginia Union into a couple more turnovers to begin the third quarter here.
Betton now over to O'Connell. O'Connell comes near side, now flips it over to Morgan. Morgan defended by Martin. Pick is set, she'll go left. O'Connell from deep, she'll fake it, bring it back up top. Over to Morgan. 2-man game between Morgan and O'Connell. O'Connell now will feed Betton. Betton closing in with 4 on the shot clock. Defended away by Green. Deflected by Green. Blackwell now will bring it up, work it outside to Cox. Inside is Martinez. Martinez with a pump fake goes up and under right against Robinson, and Virginia Union is now back up 10. It's 36-26.
Yeah, she had a really nice inside move there. Former all-rookie selection in the conference, and she's a player that can really chip in. Averages about 7 and 6 a game. Those are some nice numbers for big who can be a nice complement to what Green does.
Sanchez now uses the pick, then doesn't, goes right on Cox, and she'll draw the foul on number 0 for Virginia Union, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, good to see from Sanchez, who, was pretty quiet in that first half, and actually she was scoreless in that first half, and now she's already got a quick 5 to begin this third quarter, so certainly looks refreshed after the halftime break.
Big difference for Sanchez from first half to second half as she puts the first one up, and it's good.
5:54 left to go in the third. Brian Rascona joined by Tom Verdi here this afternoon at Adelphi University. Second shot up and good for Sanchez. Now we're looking at an 8-point advantage for Virginia Union, 36-28. Cox double team, the trap, as Robinson knocks it away and knocks it out of bounds.
I don't think any coach likes to see a pass just kind of sailed across the floor like that. I mean, more often than not, you're probably going to be conceding a fast break bucket at the other end, and I think Cox is very fortunate that that one just wound up out of bounds.
There's a difference between a pass with purpose and a desperation pass as Robinson knocks it away again. Feeds Morgan. Morgan closing in with the left hand. And the Panthers defense is changing things up from a transition standpoint, and now they're only down 6 with 5:38 left to go in the third. That leads to a Virginia Union 30-second timeout.
Yeah, the consistent pressure that we've seen, I mean, even defending the inbounds passes, it's really been very aggressive and very consistent, the type of pressure that this Adelphi defense has been able to bring so far in this third quarter. And, you know, I believe if we look at the turnovers right now, there were 13 at the half, so already 4 more turnovers against Virginia Union inside the first, not even 5 minutes here of the third quarter. So the pressure is paying off. Some of those turnovers, some fast break points for Adelphi, points off turnovers now, and Adelphi's advantage.
I think what you're seeing also is you're seeing Adelphi play defense with their feet. I mean, they're moving. They're quicker to the basketball than we saw in the first half. Hands up, jumping around, flying around defensively, and that's what's leading to the turnovers here.
Yeah, how many times do you hear the coaches say it, right? If you stop moving your feet, that's when you're going to get those reach-in fouls. So.
Right, and here's Jones now who checked in. She goes inside to Martin. Martin can't handle the pass, and another turnover forced by the Panthers.
Yeah, and finally Virginia Union breaks the pressure, and it winds up leading to a pretty decent idea. The feed inside was just a little bit too hot, I guess, for Bruni Martinez to handle.
Bruni Martinez, check that. Thank you, Tom. As Morgan now will bring it over the timeline. She's guarded by Cox. Morgan now, take it left. And a drive to the lane. She draws the foul on Brittany Martin. That's Brittany Martin's second foul of the afternoon. The senior guard from Potomac, Maryland. Morgan at the line for 2. Off the front rim and out for Victoria Morgan.
And remember, I mean, this lead was 31-19 earlier in this quarter, and the Panthers have, outscored Virginia Union 11-5 so far in this third and helped bring it down to a much more manageable situation right now at 5.
5-point advantage. Tides have turned here in the second half as the Panthers are making a run on the Lady Panthers. Here's Blackwell now with possession, guarded by Morgan. Slowing things down is Virginia Union. Martinez now drives the lane on Betton, kicks it back out to Blackwell, now inside again to Martinez. Martinez with a spin move inside, the double comes in, and we have a foul call. I believe this will go against Lauren Bieberman at will, as Bieberman got her with the body. And Bieberman doesn't think so. She's laughing about the foul call.
Yeah, and we're also seeing a very animated Sade Jackson who's asking for the explanation here about how that wound up being a foul. And, what's interesting now, too, for Adelphi, right, is you have Green out of the game. So, to me, you have to win these minutes if you're Adelphi, right? The best player for Virginia Union all day. She's on the bench right now getting a breather. You got to try to win these minutes.
The official Michael Latino in the heated conversation with Sade Jackson, or I should say Sade Jackson in a heated conversation with Michael Latino. He seems calm, cool, and collective. Second shot by Martinez off the front of the rim. Rebound by Betton. And O'Connell will slow things up as she's guarded by Kennedy Matthews, who just came in. Comes near side to Robinson. Robinson up top to Morgan. Morgan uses the pick. Now will bring it back out. She makes a move on Blackwell, kicks it back out to Robinson. 11 on the shot clock. Robinson drives the lane. She'll stop at the free throw line, put it up, and rebound goes back to Virginia Union. Bruni Martinez.
And the shot's just not falling for Robinson today.
Here's the drive inside for Cox. Ball's loose. Rebound. Tipped out towards the free throw line again by Cox. Cox all over the place on the offensive boards.
Yeah, great hustle by Cox and the rest of her Virginia Union teammates to keep this one alive.
Outside to Kennedy Matthews, guarded by O'Connell. She'll use the pick, feeds it inside to Martinez. Martinez guarded by Benton. She'll regain possession, kick it back out. And Felicia DeCruz makes the call, traveling on Martinez, and that'll ball will be turned back over to the Panthers with 4:05 left to go in the third.
And Adelphi continues to force Virginia Union into turnovers. Now they've got 18 in the game, which is double what Adelphi has done with the 9 turnovers. So that's been a nice advantage so far for Adelphi.
Adelphi down 12 to start the half. They've cut that lead in half. As now it's 37-31 with possession. Works it back out to Sanchez. Up top now to O'Connell, guarded by Matthews. Near side Robinson. She'll feed Morgan. Inside to now Ariana Kupi, who just checked in. Guarded by Jones. Outside O'Connell. Big three off the front of the rim. Rebound by Cox. Rory Cox now into the front court. Guarded by Sanchez. Up top to Blackwell. Switch off from Morgan. She'll go on Cox. Fed inside to Charles and off her knee. And yet another turnover for the Lady Panthers.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice play design, trying to get that screen and roll again going with Charles, who would just check back in, but you called it. Looked like right off her knee and unlucky out of bounds.
Sanchez, Robinson intercepts a pass that was intended for O'Connell. No harm done. Into the corner now Morgan. Morgan now pulls it back out. She's guarded by Cox. Nevaeh Reeves just checked into the game. She's on Sanchez. Outside O'Connell. O'Connell with another three. It's good. Caitlin O'Connell drains one. And now Adelphi's only down 3 with 3 minutes left to go. And this time Sanchez deflects it with a foot out of bounds. Possession will remain with her Virginia Union.
But it just feels like the momentum is starting to turn in this game. And in this third quarter specifically, the Panthers have really done a good job of grabbing that momentum and playing with some more confidence right now.
The AU Panther faithful jumped out of their seats here at the Center for Recreation and Sport here at Garden City, New York, as Adelphi only trails 3 coming into the period, down 12.
I mean, for some perspective, they've already made 5 field goals in the third. They only made 4 in the whole first half.
Tale of 2 halves thus far, as Kennedy Matthews looks to slow it down and get it into Charles. Charles on the drive, guarded by Kupi. And we have a foul call. I believe this would be on... Nope, this is going to be on Robinson, as Robinson seemed to have her feet planted, but they call it a defensive foul.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't think that Charles really had anywhere to go. It kind of wound up bailing her out in the end there, and unfortunately for Adelphi, it goes against Robinson, and that, I believe, is number 3 against her, so she's going to have to play a little bit carefully here.
First one up, bounces off the back of the rim twice and out for Charles. .244 left to go in the third. Adelphi down 3, 37-34. Charles makes the second, extends the lead to 4. Sanchez cross court in the backcourt as O'Connell now will bring it up. Guarded by Matthews, right underneath was Ariana Kupi at the last second. Charles was able to deflect it and keep it in bounds. Now Jones has it. She'll give it out to her point guard, now working it around the horn to Cox. Inside now to Jones. Jones, free throw line extended, drives in, and we'll have a 3-second violation called on, I believe it was on Charles on the inside, as Jones was making her move to the basket.
And we touched on it a few times today, but she really looks like she's going to be quite a player for this Virginia Union team. Again, only a freshman right now, but great defensive awareness in that last sequence, hustled back to break up what could have been a bunny for Adelphi if she doesn't get back there in time, and actually wound up in the Adelphi bench after hustling to knock that one away.
Well, you see her usage, right, already as a freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, she's in the game pretty much, most of the time. So big things coming from Maya Charles, I'm sure. Up top now, Morgan. Sanchez working it around the horn to Robinson. Kicking it back out is Kupi. Kupi guarded by Charles. They'll flip it to O'Connell. O'Connell fakes the 3. On the switch, we'll get a foul call as Mike Latino blows the whistle. It'll be a non-shooting foul. They'll inbound on the near sideline.
And they say Charles had a little bit of arm extension into the body there, so they call that a quick foul against her.
Robinson tries to go inside. She's met by Jones, works it back out to Koopy. Koopy out to Morgan. Morgan wide open, nobody around, and we have the shots waved off as a foul is called on Ariana Koopy's. She's nailed with the offensive foul. I didn't actually see it. It was off the ball. Another steal by Sanchez. Sanchez, O'Connell right in front, and she lays it in. Ho-ho, Christina Sanchez having a half defensively, basically turning it into offense for the Panthers.
Yeah, that's been the key, right? It seems like the offense is thriving off the defense, and here another steal by Adelphi.
Another steal by Adelphi. O'Connell with it, down 2. 1:29 left to go in the third, as this has been a comeback for the AU Panthers. Knocked away by Cox. Both girls dive to the floor. And it looks like Rory Cox will be called with the foul. Possession will remain with Adelphi.
And nice sportsmanship as well there by O'Connell, who tried to offer Cox a hand up as those two players look like a good, honest battle going toe-to-toe for that loose ball.
Did she take the hand?
I don't think so.
O'Connell works it around. She gets fouled hard inside by Jones, and she's down. O'Connell is down as Jones hit her with the body. She drove to the basket. I'm not sure if her head hit the floor. It's without a doubt a blocking foul on Jones. O'Connell shaken up under the basket. We hope she's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we have to explain that a loss of O'Connell for any extended period of time would just be extremely difficult for this Adelphi offense. You know, plays so many minutes, runs the point, one of their best scorers as well. Very, senior leader on this team. And so obviously we hope for the best for O'Connell here.
Oh, you could tell that things run through number one here offensively for the Panthers as team trainers working with her underneath the hoop with 1:16 left to go in the third. O'Connell would be going to the free throw line, assuming she's okay. She's holding her inside. She's not, I think she's going to the bench or the locker room, or she seems to be okay as she's talking to her coach, Sade Jackson. And it looks like she'll go back towards the locker room here at Adelphi, so we hope she's all right. A serious loss for the Panthers if Caitlin can't come back.
Yeah, and it's pretty much the only thing that could put a damper on how good of a third quarter this has been right now, outscoring Virginia Union 17-7 here in this third, and have forced them into 9 turnovers in this third. Again, that defense leading to offense so often.
It stinks, plain and simple. Lauren Bieberman knocks down the first. She's 3 for 3 from the stripe today. 57% free throw shooter, and this is her fourth. As she's taking the shots for Adelphi. The game is tied since it was 5-5 in the first quarter. And it's 38-38 right now. Another steal by Adelphi. Bieberman just tries to get rid of it as she's called for the travel, I believe. And she felt herself falling to the floor and just tried to get rid of it, but still got called for the travel.
Yeah, the pass wound up kind of in no man's land anyway on that far side. It might have just gone out of bounds anyway, but again, you like to see that aggressiveness. And Bieberman, again, she's been at the forefront of a lot of that aggressive defense when she's been in there. Great hands, that long reach.
Absolutely, as now they break the press for a change. Virginia Union, here's out to Charles. Charles works it to the low block to Jones. Back outside to Blackwell. Blackwell. And a whistle's blown as we have a foul call on Ariana Koopy inside, off the ball foul.
And Brian, I can't be the only person who's wondering when we're going to see Tania Green back in this game, right? Because it seems like the Panthers have made a big chunk of this run now with her on the bench. So you wonder at some point they got to get her back in there.
Took the words right out of my mouth. She seems to be fine. I see her on the bench, so Tiara Terry's just waiting for the right moment, or maybe she's giving her the third quarter and she's going to play her for the whole fourth, it seems. Nevertheless, Charles at the line for 2. She'll knock the first one down. Under a minute left to go in the third. Virginia Union up by 1, 39-38. And the second one is up and good for Charles. Charles takes advantage. Virginia Union returning the favor defensively. Morgan breaks it over the timeline, feeds Betten. Betten stopped. If Betten kept going to the basket, she would have had no problems, but she stopped as Morgan tried to lead her with that pass, leads to another Panther turnover.
Yeah, it's like, when you see your big running the floor that well, you want to reward them with the ball. And
Absolutely.
Betten just couldn't be on the same page there, it seems.
Cox inside to Jones. Jones didn't stop, and she blows the layup. Jones went up with the right hand, and it fell off the front edge. Rebound by Robinson. 33 seconds left. They don't look to rush it up the floor and get a 2-for-1. Morgan now, played by Blackwell. Tries to make a move on Blackwell, kicks it back out to Robinson. 10 on the shot clock for the Panthers. Robinson will work it back to the right. Defended by Matthews. Kicks it back outside, turns it over. Stolen by Blackwell. Blackwell's on the move with Cox to her right. Feeds Cox inside, making a move on Betten with the left hand. No good. Rebound, loose ball. Cox now kicks it out to Jones. 3 seconds left on the game clock. Knocked out of bounds by Robinson. Possession will remain with Virginia Union with 1.7 left in the quarter.
Not a lot of time here. It's going to have to be something close to a catch and shoot.
Catch, shoot. It's up off the back of the rim for Jones, and that'll do it here for the third quarter of play at Adelphi University. Valiant comeback for the Panthers. First one leading out the charge, and greeting her teammates is Caitlin O'Connell, so she seems to be okay. And we'll be right back with the fourth quarter of action right here from Adelphi University. You're watching the NE10 now on Flow College. All right, we're back here on Flow College. We apologize for the delay. A foul call on Kennedy Matthews on Caitlin O'Connell. Caitlin O'Connell back into the game after getting shaken up on a foul by Jones underneath the rim, and we have a whistle here. It'll be a blocking foul on Christina Sanchez, and ball's turned over to Virginia Union. Speaking of turnovers, Tom, how many turnovers did Virginia Union have in that third quarter?
Yeah, 10 in the third quarter, and that was a big key to what Adelphi was able to do. Fast break points are now 6-0 Adelphi, and points off turnovers 19-9, a lot of those coming in that third. Inside to Cox, played by Sanchez. Off the leg of Sanchez. Possession will remain with Virginia Union with 20 seconds on the shot clock. And right, I mean, a lot of those turnovers turned into transition points, and that was the difference. Jones on the outside, now driving inside. Spin move with the right hand, gets tied up, no call. Caitlin O'Connell out with it quick. Numbers if she pushes. She stops on a dime, played by Cox. Works it back inside through the paint. Charles defends, now kicks it out to Sanchez. Sanchez on the drive off the backboard and out. And now rebound by Blackwell. Blackwell up the floor. She's got Jones to her left, pulls it back out as she's guarded by
40-38 in favor of Virginia Union. Jones back inside to Charles. Charles makes a move on Betten. Betten holds her position, but can't do anything against the tall Maya Charles.
The two freshmen there going toe-to-toe, and it's Charles having the advantage there on the offensive end.
O'Connell works it back outside. Now Morgan. In the front court, Robinson, guarded by Jones. Betten sets the pick for her. Charles picks her up. Drive inside by Robinson, in and out. Rebound by Sanchez, put back, no good. And the rebound is taken by Jones, and she hands it off to Matthews. Matthews taking her time, guarded by Morgan, waiting for the pick from Jones. Jones will roll off of it. Outside, she'll spin at the free throw line. Jump shot no good. Rebound now by Morgan. Caitlin O'Connell up the floor. Guarded by Cox, waiting for the pick by Robinson. She'll take the pick, come inside. She's met with Jones. Feeds back at the top for Robinson. A long three off the backboard and in for Rolanda Robinson. And Adelphi's down by one. It's 42-41.
Yeah, what a time for Robinson to hit on her first field goal of the afternoon. It had been a struggle for her, and she'll take it any way she can get it.
Christina Sanchez called for the blocking foul. That's her third foul of the afternoon, so she'll take a seat. Coming back in is Lauren Bieberman.
And again, we've touched on Bieberman, 4 steals in her 13 minutes of action so far.
And look, number 24 is back in for Virginia Union, Tom. And here she is working against Betten. Betten, great job defensively as Green goes down to the floor. Robinson tries to push. She's met by Matthews and deflected by Matthews into the hands of Blackwell. Blackwell pushing it back up the floor. Back to Matthews, left hand. Swatted by Lauren Bieberman. Back the other way. Bieberman up the right side. She feeds Bieberman right hand and in. The first lead since it was 2-0 in the first. It's 43-42 in favor of the Adelphi Panthers.
And again, it's Bieberman with those big defensive plays.
Swatted by Betten again. O'Connell looks to push. Up ahead to Morgan. Morgan, Cox meets her there and swats it out of bounds. As Morgan hits the floor as well as Cox. Both teams given they're all here in the fourth quarter with under 7 minutes left to play.
Yeah, and it's so tight on the baseline down there. I mean, there is very little room, and it looked like Cox wound up going into that padding over there, and good to see that she's up because she went full speed to try to make that defensive play.
It was so loud after the play, I didn't even hear the whistle blown. Yeah. So Morgan drew the foul, which I thought it looked like clean to me. Morgan draws the foul as she drains the first one. 44-22 in favor of the Panthers. 6:50 left to go in the fourth. Completely different second half for Adelphi.
Yeah, it's been a really fun watch, and the pace really has been excellent at times in this game. I mean, really up and down these last few minutes.
Back inside. Charles lays it in as she was falling backwards. 44-45 now in favor of Adelphi. Brittany Martin playing O'Connell, hands it off to Robinson. Robinson gets the pick from O'Connell. She drives the lane. Cox trailing. She can't lay it in. Rebound by Green. Blackwell pushes it up. Blackwell stopped by O'Connell. Picks up the dribble, feeds it inside to Green. Green works it back outside. They go around the horn. Martin, and we'll have another foul call here as the foul's called on Lauren Bieberman.
Yeah, and a tough matchup even for someone with pretty good size in Bieberman because of just how big Maya Charles is at 6'3", and tried to deny her that inside positioning and winds up getting called for the push.
Bieberman's third foul of the game. Pass comes back outside to Green. Green works it back to Blackwell. Blackwell with a jab step. She took too many steps, and the ball's turned over to the Panthers.
And again, it just feels like Adelphi is keeping up that relentless defensive pressure, right? You see Green gets it up top. Immediately Robinson's in her face. Then they move it to the near side. And again, there's a Panther that's right on top of them at all times.
Absolutely. You could see the anxiety almost with Virginia Union, right, when they get the basketball. They're not composed. Robinson now driving the lane, kicks it back into the corner. Bieberman works it back around O'Connell. She's met by Cox, pulls it back for three. O'Connell off the right side as the fans here got on their feet. as O'Connell released it, and the rebound the other way by Green.
Nice little screen by Benton up top to get her that space.
Cox now out to Green, out to Blackwell. They're going to try to work it into Charles on Robinson. Charles again puts it in. You see how it was Green in the first half. Now it's Maya Charles in the second half time.
Yeah, she's looked unstoppable at times, and really, I think they're going to keep trying to go into her and use her size.
Robinson, as Cox hits the floor. Robinson will drive, reach in. They wave off the shot. And it's a timeout on the floor by Adelphi. That's what stopped play. It's a full timeout. So we'll take a full timeout as well. Brian Rascona, Tom Verdi right here, and this is going to be an exciting 5 minutes at Adelphi University. We'll take a break as the Virginia Union Lady Panthers are up 46-45 on the Adelphi Panthers. We'll be right back. You're watching the NE10 now on Flo College. Welcome back to Adelphi University out of the timeout. 5 minutes and 9 seconds left to go in regulation here. The AU Panthers trail Virginia Union Lady Panthers 46-45. And Tom, you see the emergence of Maya Charles. You know, we were talking during the break about Tania Green, and she had 13 points at halftime. She's only got 3 in this second half, but Maya Charles has picked up the pace.
Yeah, Charles has really been having a great second half. She's got 9 of her 11 points in this second half, and had a career high earlier this season a couple weeks ago against UDC of 16, and she's going to certainly maybe approach that if they keep feeding her the way they've been feeding her the last few minutes.
She might come close. Here's Morgan now on the inbound as they run the block play and works it back around to Bieberman. Bieberman outside O'Connell. She'll kick it to the corner now for Morgan, driving the lane on Charles with the left hand, and she draws the foul on Maya Charles. That's Maya Charles' third of the afternoon, and Morgan will go back to the line.
Yeah, and so far Virginia Union has mostly kept the fouls, within check. Everybody who had fouls, a lot of them had 2, but nobody had 3 just yet until that one from Charles. So even with the, Adelphi getting to the line a bunch, they've kind of spread out the fouls. As she hits the first, does Morgan.
Morgan coming into the game, 71% free throw shooter, knocks down the first one. Game knotted up at 46. Adelphi can't take the lead as it goes in and out. Rebound by Green. Here's Blackwell. Blackwell works it around to Martin. Martin driving the lane on Morgan, gets a step up with the left hand and off the backboard as it's deflected out by Robinson. 17 seconds left to go on the shot clock for Virginia Union.
And Panthers have done a much better job from the free throw line. We talked about it earlier. They started 3 of 6, and since then they've gone 14 for 16.
Not only knocking them down, but getting to the free throw line a lot more. Benton now on Green. Green takes a jab step. We'll have another foul call here on 14. This will be on Rolanda Robinson. She's unhappy with the call. That's her 4th personal of the afternoon, Tom.
Yeah, and again, we talked about it with Robinson. She's usually a very aggressive defender. Sometimes that can get her into some foul trouble, and she may be coming out here. Bieberman looks like she tried to check in late there.
Here's Cox now on the drive, left hand, no good on the floater. Kick back out, fight for the rebound as O'Connell gets down and dirty. And we'll have a jump ball. Possession will go to the Panthers. And with that, Sade Jackson will call a 30-second timeout. I think it was maybe to take Robinson out. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, it's possible, unless she was trying to save that possession before they called the jump ball. Either way, it winds up as a 30-second timeout here, and I think that's what we'll expect to see is Bieberman checking into the game, perhaps for Rolanda Robinson, who picked up her 4th in that last sequence. So, although, getting late here, so you wonder at some point Robinson may they may have to stick with Robinson out there, and that's kind of the conversation. Maybe Robinson pleading her case with Coach Jackson right now.
And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do, maybe. Hold on. No, Robinson will go to the bench. Although the Panthers currently only have 4 players out there. Are they aware of that? Oh, Robinson's in the corner, so Robinson will stay on. Thought she was walking to the bench. So it looks like they'll just ride Robinson out at this point. Under 5 minutes left to go in regulation. Sanchez now guarded by Cox. Benton now at the top of the key. She'll work it around to Robinson for 3. No good. As it's rebound by Tania Green. Blackwell now pushing it up floor over the timeline. She'll come near side. Kicks it back up top of the key, Green. Green driving on Benton as Bieber's there to help out. And Bieber with the deflection as she's tied up. And we'll have a foul call on Tania Green.
And again, we've talked about it all afternoon, but Bieberman continues to be a force on that defensive side. And, you know, if they're going to call that a steal or a block, either way, I mean, another huge defensive play draws the foul. And now it's interesting, both teams with 4 team fouls here in the fourth. So any more fouls the rest of the way, and these teams are going to be shooting free throws.
Great defense by Christina Sanchez and Lauren Bieberman. Big reason why the Panthers are able to come back in this one and make it a contest. Down 12 coming into the second half. O'Connell making a move on Charles. Thrusts it into the corner with the right hand. Robinson saves it. She'll work the baseline. Work it into the corner now to Sanchez. Sanchez trapped. Try to feed inside of Robinson. Goes to Benton. Oh, dividends being paid off an errant pass as Benton puts it in.
And at some point, with all that pressure being brought by Virginia Union, it left the backside open for Benton.
Weak side wide open. Cox fakes a 3 and goes up and down. Travel call on Rory Cox. She doesn't think so. She was driving the lane. Possession turned over to the Panthers. 3:17 left to go in the fourth.
Yeah, she thought she might have held that tiptoe, you know, kind of going up on that shot fake, but officials thought otherwise. And again, every possession here becomes more and more magnified in a tight 2-point game here.
48-46, Panthers with possession. Benton working inside to Charles, had a step, lost the ball, kicks it into the corner for Sanchez off the back of the rim. Rebound for Charles. She'll dump it to Jones. Blackwell now with possession, moving it up the floor. From left to right is Virginia Union. Jones now inside to Charles. She works inside with the right hand. And Bieberman is called for a foul on Charles. So Maya Charles, who we've seen hit her free throws today, that's number 4 on Lauren Bieberman, goes back to the free throw line.
And, you know, again, Coach Jackson kind of asking for the explanation. She thought maybe it was good hands-up defense from Bieberman, but for Virginia Union, you see, again, a steady diet of feeding Maya Charles on the inside, especially in the second half.
Adelphi Panthers looking to go to 7-2 overall in the season. Charles knocks it down again on the first, and 5-1 in non-conference play. Virginia Union trying to go 6-3 overall. Charles up and in. And she ties the game at 48. Here's Sanchez as they break the backcourt press. Sanchez up the floor. Jones guards her. Works it back around to Robinson. Bieberman inside to Benton. Benton guarded by Charles. Kicks it back out to Sanchez. 15 on the clock. Sanchez moving right. Guarded by Blackwell. Too hard off the glass. Rebound by Jones.
Right idea from Sanchez, but as you said, just too much on it.
Cox near side. Working on Bieberman. Goes over to Martin. Martin with a shot in the lane. No good. Rebound by Lauren Bieberman, defended by Charles.
Big
O'Connell
rebound.
now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Charles was trying to get that offensive board, and Bieberman did a good job to hang on to it.
Robinson now brings it up the floor on the far side, guarded by Jones. Makes a move, comes back out. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. 2 minutes left to play here in the fourth. Game knotted up at 48. Sanchez will take her time. 9 on the shot clock. Guarded by Cox. She'll move right. She'll take it herself. She decided to do a clear out, did Sanchez. Too hard again off the glass. Jones flips it to Blackwell. O'Connell teasing her. Back inside to Charles with a layup, and it's good. And she'll get a free throw to boot with 1:37 left to go in the fourth. Maya Charles has taken over this fourth quarter.
And a freshman mistake to me from Benton, right? If you're going to let Charles get around you, you can't also foul her and still let her make that bucket. So you either got to let her take the layup, or if you're going to foul her, you have to make sure she doesn't hit the shot, because now a chance for this three-point play to make it a three-point game.
100%. And with this free throw, this will tie her season high in points for the season for Charles, and she does so. 16 points for Charles. Timeout for Virginia Union. It's a 30-second timeout. Tom, we're here. We talked about the keys to the game, right? We talked about how Adelphi's got to get inside and change the presence that the Virginia Union has inside, and they've done that. Yet, they still find themselves now down 3 with 1:37 left to go. What does Sade Jackson have to do to reverse this thing and get it the way the Panthers want it to go?
Yeah, I mean, their defensive pressure, as we talked about in the second half, has been big, but a lot of that gets created off of made shots. So in the third quarter, 6 of 11 on their field goals. That let them set up the press a lot. I think that helped kind of cause some havoc against Virginia Union. Now in this fourth quarter, both teams kind of struggling. They're only 3 of 12 shooting, so I think less chances to use that 1-2-2 press that we've seen at times, and more half-court defense. And in that half-court defense, it's been Maya Charles who's really been taking advantage, and that forced Benton out of the game after that last one. But so far, Charles, as you said, tied her career high with 16. She's now tied with Green for the game high with 16. And so for Adelphi, you want to try to avoid that half-court defense as much as possible. Or if you're in it, you maybe got to bring some help when Charles gets those touches.
Ariana Coopy now in. Adelphi going a little smaller here with 1:37 left to go. Ariana Coopy replaces Benton. And possession, not sure what the confusion is here. After the free throw, possession should be for the Panthers. It is, as Morgan's ready to inbound. Backcourt press still being played by Virginia Union. Jones on Robinson. They inbound to Robinson. Takes it up the far side and over the timeline. Morgan now with it, guarded by Blackwell. Sanchez out to Coopy, guarded by Charles. Works it back around Robinson towards the lane. Good switch. Robinson, a 3 off the back of the rim. Nobody around but maroon jerseys, as it's Cox that pulls down the rebound. Coming up on 1 minute left. Cox now will take her time with a 3-point advantage. Guarded by Christina Sanchez. Outside to Jones. Jones flips it under to who else? Charles. Charles working on Robinson and puts it in. Number 34 now has her season high in points at 18 in the game. And now Virginia Union has regained a 5-point advantage with 55.8 seconds left.
Yeah, and it was well drawn up, right? They get her in the matchup against Robinson, who has 4 fouls. So, Robinson can only be so aggressive defending it, and she doesn't want to pick up that 5th foul, and instead Charles is able to kind of take her to the hoop and, pick up that season and career high now at 18 points, and she's been super efficient doing it. 6 of 9 shooting, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, added 3 rebounds, 2 steals, a block as well. So just a really strong game today for the Brooklyn product, Maya Charles.
Yeah, and we saw Letitia Willis in the first half. We haven't seen her in the second half. And you would think when they go with the 2 big guns down low with Maya Charles and even Green and even Jones, you would think maybe you would see that again, but we haven't seen Willis at all either in the second half.
Yeah, and maybe she's a little bit more limited offensively, and maybe that's why Coach Jackson, is trying to get some other players out there for the offense, but now they need a bucket here big time, as there's 52 seconds left to go here in regulation. Work back around to Sanchez. They kick it back to Robinson. Robinson against Cox, and she draws the foul, being down 5. You like to score when the clock is stopped, and that's exactly what Adelphi has the opportunity to do right now. Yep, for sure. Yeah, you want to try to go quickly. Maybe you get to the free throw line, which, as you said, a great way to get points with the clock stopped. And now for Robinson, you got to step up and hit these. She's 5 of 6 today, and as we said, the Panthers, I think now 14 of their last 16 after starting 3 for 6.
Big free throws for number 14. Here's the first, and it's no good off the back of the rim. 45.6 seconds left to go. Panthers down 5. Haven't led. They led once in the first quarter and led in this fourth quarter twice. Second shot is up and good. They're now down 4. As Virginia Union now will call a timeout. It's a full timeout, and we'll step aside for a quick break. You're watching the final seconds of the AU Panthers and Virginia Lady Panthers live from Adelphi University. It's on the NE10 now on Flow College. Welcome back to Flo College, the last 45.6 seconds in regulation. Brian Rascona along with Tom Verdi here on the NE10 now and also on Flo College. 53-49 the score, possession to Virginia Union out of the timeout.
Yeah, and of course you can advance the ball on the timeout so they kind of avoid that Adelphi 1-2-2 pressure.
Correct. And they work it out to Blackwell, and Adelphi quickly fouls. Morgan will foul Blackwell and send Blackwell to the line.
Not too many attempts for her on the season, 4 for 6 coming into today's game.
So Blackwell not accustomed to being at the stripe, but she's here with 44.7 left and knocks down the first with ease. Puts Virginia Union back up 5, 54-49. Second one is up and good, 55-49. It's now a 6-point lead. And Adelphi will take a 30-second timeout. 44.7 left. Virginia Union came back quickly. They're now on a 9-1 run over the last 2 minutes of this one. And it's been on the back of Maya Charles for the most part.
Yeah, she's been excellent, and it's been a huge part of what they've been able to establish inside in the second half, even with, Green mostly being on the bench, it feels like, for a lot of the second half. And for Adelphi, it just feels like the offense drying up at the wrong time, unfortunately for them. A great third quarter, shooting 6 of 11, but now in this fourth, only 3 of 13 shooting, 1 of 5 from downtown, and they might need to hit a big 3 at some point in these last few seconds to try to mount this comeback. After
a 13-point first half for Tanaya Green, she now has only 3 in the second half, so they did a great job defensively with her, and then Maya Charles just has completely taken over. Her season-high 18 points right now for number 34 of Virginia Union. Right now the Panthers have to score quick. 40 seconds left to go. O'Connell makes a move. Kicks it back outside. Here's Morgan. She's going to hoist up a 3, and it's no good. Air ball as the ball goes out of bounds. It was tipped, actually, on the release. So possession will stay with the Panthers. 19 seconds left on the shot clock. 32.8 on the game clock.
That's a big touch because it feels like Adelphi really needs to get something on this set.
Adelphi in desperate need of a three-pointer. They work it outside to Morgan. She's wide open. She fakes it, kicks it to Robinson. Robinson, a 3 is good. Big 3 for Rolanda Robinson. Cuts the lead in half. Virginia Union up 3, and a foul is given as Morgan fouls Brittany Martin.
Yeah, it had been a tough shooting day for Robinson, as we alluded to, but shooters shoot, and she's definitely one of them for Adelphi, and still had the confidence. A nice extra pass there from Morgan, who kind of drew that attention, was able to then slide it over to Robinson for a wide open look, and good job by Rolanda to knock it down.
Here's Martin's first. Good. Virginia Union hitting their free throws down the stretch here. First Blackwell, now Martin. A lot of lefties on this Virginia Union team. Martin with the shot off the back of the rim. Rebound by by Robinson. 22 on the clock. Robinson stolen away from behind by Martin as the foul was dealt by Bieberman. So that's 5 fouls on Lauren Bieberman. And that'll all but do it here at Adelphi University.
And Morgan also appears to be hobbling off as well. She's trying to shake something out. Looks like maybe her left foot or left ankle here. But, yeah, just great heads-up play on defense. But for Adelphi, you could say maybe falling asleep a little bit. Got that ball over the timeline and then didn't feel the pressure coming from the backside. Winds up leading to a steal that, with some free throws, maybe you would put this game away. But some missed free throws here finally for Virginia Union.
Martin misses the first. 18 seconds left on the game clock. Virginia Union up 5 now, 57-52 after the make by Martin. Virginia Union keeps the press on, making it difficult, wasting time for the Panthers to get it up the floor. Morgan seems to be okay. As now she gives it to Sanchez. Sanchez driving in, kicks it out to O'Connell. O'Connell a three off the front rim, no good. Jones smacks it out. 10 seconds left to go in the game.
Yeah, and just the clock now becoming the biggest problem for Adelphi, just running out of time to have multiple chances to cut into the deficit.
You wonder if they started this tenaciousness in the first half defensively, if the score would be different. Here's Robinson a three. Off the backboard, rebounded by Jones. 3 seconds left to go. Adelphi will back off, and that will do it here at Adelphi University. Valiant effort put forth by the Panthers of Adelphi, but in the end, too much Maya Charles, and that was the difference in the second half as Virginia Union takes this one by the score of 57-52. We'll take a look at a couple of leaders in the game thus far as we wait for Tom to go down sideline, as he will have an interview with Sade Jackson. With the win today for Adelphi University, with the loss today, I should say, for Adelphi University, they dropped to 6-3 on the season, 4-2 in non-conference play. And for Virginia Union Lady Panthers, they moved to 6-3 on the year. Maya Charles led all scorers today with 18 points for Virginia Union. She was followed by Tania Green. And for Adelphi, the leading scorer was Victoria Morgan, followed by Rolanda Robinson and Caitlin O'Connell with 11. And the final here at Adelphi University is 57-52 in favor of Virginia Union. A non-conference game, and it was a fun one at that, as Adelphi came in down 12 in the second half and came all the way back to take the lead and gave it up in the final moments. In the last 2 minutes, Virginia Union hit their free throws, and they take this one 57-52. We'll be right back with the coach's interview. Tom Verdi will be joined with the head coach of the Adelphi Panthers, Sade Jackson. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching the NE10 now on Flow College.
It's a really good second half from your team, but you guys wind up falling a little bit short. What'd you see as the difference down the stretch today?
I think we got off to a slow start, but obviously in the second half, I think they just killed us in the post, right? We never adjusted in post play-wise.
How about in terms of the intensity on defense? You guys turned them over 10 times in that third quarter. It seemed like that also got the offense going a little bit. Tell me a little bit about how the intensity kind of picked up there in the second.
Yeah, I felt our energy was low in the first half, and I know something that gets us going and picks our energy up is pressing, so that's why we went to the press in that third quarter.
And one player who seemed to be having a great game on the defensive side, Lauren Bieberman, she came in off the bench. Really strong performance last time against Franklin Pierce, too, and I thought today she gave you guys some nice minutes defensively.
Yeah, Lauren's finally getting her feet under herself, and I think that's what Lauren does defensively, just getting her hands on a lot of basketballs and just getting a lot of deflections, and that gets her going offensively as well.
And on the offensive side, maybe just not enough makes late in the game. Talk about the offense today and what you saw maybe late in the game especially.
Yeah, I think we were just a little stagnant offensively, especially in that first half. And again, like you said, in that fourth quarter. But I also think when you don't have, it's no secret, we have Bella, who is a lot of our offense and gets us going. We didn't have her today, so our offense was a little bit more stagnant than it usually is.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks so much for the time today, and good luck in the next one.
Thank you.
And that's going to do it for us here from Garden City. For Brian Rascona, I'm Tom Verdi. For everybody here involved, thanks so much for tuning in, and please enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Move over basic fall flavors. Loaded steak and potato has arrived. It's the perfect flavor combo of sirloin steak, seasoned potatoes, sour cream, shredded cheese, bacon, and our famous queso. Order at Moe's.com or through our app.